Lexi. Today we're going to be doing this makeup look. I will have all of the tools and items that I use listed in the description below, so you guys can look them up and use them for yourself. But this look can be modified to use whatever you have on hand. It's completely vegan friendly. I will not be telling you how to do the liner, but if you guys want that in a separate tutorial video, comment down below so I can put that on the list of videos to film. So I already did my base, and now I'm going to go over what you guys are going to have to do a layout. And for reference, my base is Dream On Mousse in Natural Beige, and then the Marc Jacobs palette in Omega Bronze. That's a poof. For eyeshadow shaping, we're just going to do basic big triangles using tape. I'm using the outline from my last look to help place it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now it's time to use N.Y.X's Marshmellow primer because it'll help the eyeshadow stay. You barely need any because a little goes a long way. Just make sure try to not to get too much on your eyelid depending on where you're gonna put your liner, because the oil can mess up the application and the drying process. Now using the Sephora Pro palette, we're gonna go in with the lightest shade of white right over here, and just apply that on your inner corners, avoiding the eyelid. Now you can put whatever base shade you want on the inside, but I'm using white because it is the most highlighting if you don't want to use the drop shadow on your inner corners. Really make sure to pack it on if you're using white, because you don't want to have pigment fallout. Using white on the inside will also just make the design that we're doing on top stand out better. I recommend the Sephora Pro Palette because it's very easily blendable, but anything else will work just as good. Whatever bright color you have on the inside, just make sure that you have enough of it that it's going to stand out after you blend it, because you don't want to have to go back in and add color and mute out the bright color that we're going to put on the outer corners. Instead of doing green, I'm going in with the BloomingUp Pastel palette, but you can use any palette that has a pastel of the bright color of your choice. And just put that right in between the rest of your eyelid and the white powder that we just applied. If you want to go for more contour look, you can put a little bit under wherever your crease is and put a little bit on top. For the next bright color, I'm going to go in with one of the bright greens from this Amazon palette. I don't know the brand that made it, but I'm going to go in with the bright green that's right under this olive because it glows in the dark and it's extremely pigmented. You're basically just going to repeat the steps that you did with the last color that you applied, but you're going to put it a little bit closer to areas of skin that aren't covered, and you're going to blend a little bit less. As we keep on going out, we're going to keep blending less and less, because if we blend too much, then we won't get the definition in the different shades of color. Last but not least, for the brightest pigment, we're going to go in with the MakeupAMurder Neon Green. And we're just going to put that right on the edges. You can do with any color you want, but I highly recommend these pigments because they're the brightest ones that I own. And they glow in the dark too, so they go with this color really well. You're just going to want to extend whatever your brightest color is to the very end, while still semi-blending it in with everything else. You don't want to blend too much because you don't want to take away from the previous colors that we added on. We're going to go ahead and set with whatever setting spray you have. The one that I have is from E.L.F. It says stay all night, but we all know that doesn't mean anything. Go ahead and peel off your strips, and it'll give us some nice contour definition to put our liner over. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my eyeliner. I can make a tutorial on this, but that's a tutorial for a different day, so go ahead and do whatever eyeliner look you're most comfortable with, and then I'll show you how to add the designs on top of the shadow we just did. So my eyeliner finished drying, and I went ahead and did my lips too because I got a schedule of videos I have to film. Now for the first part of the design, we're going to go ahead and take any eyeliner of your, any eyeshadow of your choice and any mixing medium of your choice. This one's the same one that I used on these corners, and this one is the Inkblot Duraline mixing medium from Amazon. After taking both of those and mixing them together on a disposable surface, we're going to go ahead and start making the design. For this design, we are just going to make a bunch of small dots. About that big. If it's helpful, you can go ahead and look at a reference photo of what leopard spots look like, or cheetah spots. But basically all you're gonna do is just make small little blobs, and they don't have to be perfect or anything. they're just gonna be little blobs. You can make some look like beans. You can make some look like little swoops. See, there you go. And you don't have to keep them up here either. I'm actually gonna go down here and I'm gonna add a few little beans. And my rule of thumb is that I don't typically go past this line in here because it kind of gets rid of the look that the white does for brightening up your eyes. However you want, and just repeat it on the other side. Now after that's finished drying, you can take any eyeliner of your choice that is not a pencil liner, and we're going to go in with some more small dots to bring out what makes it actually look like a leopard pattern. So the one that I'm using is the N.Y.X Epic Ink eyeliner, I think. This one's the Epic Ink liner, and it's really easy to brush liner, but I've seen multiple people do this with Inkwell liners too, like my general design style. You're just gonna go in with small dots like that. You can make them bigger or smaller or however you want them to look. It doesn't really matter. We're just gonna keep drawing on little baby blobs. And this one doesn't look the best because I'm trying to do it all on camera to make sure it's beginner friendly. But this is the look. How we doing? How are you doing? You're doing good. So this is the finished product of the tutorial. I'll show you guys some better pictures. If you guys like this makeup tutorial, follow me down below by pressing the subscribe button, press the bell button. And if you liked how easy this was to follow, comment, give me more suggestions for other videos, and press the like button, please. Thank you.